Hey guys, my name is Callum and this is Speedy Aspie Level Up. If you want to level your life up and you have Aspergers or ADHD, this is the place to be. So in this video I'm going to be talking about productivity. See, productivity is very, very important. If you get your productivity organised and in order, then you can get anything done. It's very difficult to be productive, but it's not as hard as people make it sound. There is a lot more to productivity than people think, and that's what I'm going to be covering in this video. So let's get on with the video. Number one, I think the most important thing when it comes to productivity is limiting distractions. So if you've got a mobile phone and you are tempted to keep on checking your emails or messages on Facebook or your Instagram posts, seeing if people have liked your Instagram posts or your Twitter account, see if anybody's commented on your Twitter, I would put your phone on silent or turn it off. Another thing I would do as well is inform people before you do anything. So, before you work on your project, that you're going to be working on your project and that you will need some time alone. You need some time and space to focus on your project, because I know how difficult it can be to focus with Aspergers and ADHD when there's people distracting you left, right and centre. So it's important to let people know beforehand so that they don't come and distract you. If that is not possible, and let's say you're in the house and everybody's gone out and you're not able to let them know, you've tried calling them, you've tried texting them, but you can't get through to them, put a don't disturb sign outside of your room. That then when they see that don't disturb sign, then they should know not to come in your room. Number two is write everything down. So if you've got a journal, or even if you've got an app on your phone where you can write down a to-do list, write down a to-do list of the things you need to do. If you write things down, you're more likely to do them. You're reinforcing your brain that it's an important task. Plus, when you wake up in the morning, you can read that piece of paper, that scrapbook, that journal, or that app on your phone, and it will remind you that it's an important task that you need to do. Number three is visualise a positive outcome. So you want to join the gym. You're thinking about joining the gym, and you want this great body. You want to feel healthy. You want to look good. You want to build your muscles. You want to become more flexible. Well, then visualise that outcome in your head. Think about it, fantasise, obsess about it in your head. If you visualise it in your head, you're going to motivate yourself to pursue that goal more. And you're going to fill yourself with positive emotions about where you could be at the end of that goal. What the outcome's going to be, what the result is going to be of your efforts. So visualising a positive outcome is going to boost your motivation and will keep you chasing after that goal. And it's not just for the gym, it can be for anything. For art, it can be for music, it can be for writing, it can be for anything. Try visualising a positive outcome, and believe me, the results will speak for themselves. Use sticky notes. I don't really need to say a lot about this one, but if you get a piece of paper and you stick it onto your wall and you write on it, and when you wake up in the morning, you'll see it there, and it'll be a reminder that you need to get things done. You can write down on there, I need to do such and such. It needs to get done. I need to finish this. And write what it is. Or you could put them all around your room, and every time you enter your room, you'll see them on your wall, and that will be a constant reminder of, like I've just said, of getting things done. So yeah, sticky notes can be very useful in that regard. The next one is download project files first. So let's say you're working with Photoshop And you know, with Photoshop, it works on a layer system, doesn't it? So you often layer different you know, photographs on each other, different images on top of each other. If you're spending your time, you know, looking for images while you're working on a project in Photoshop, you're going to spend more time looking for images than actually finishing the project. So what I would do first is download the project files first, organise them into folders, turn the internet off, and then, you know, get on with the project. You will save yourself a lot of time and you'll be a lot more organised. The next thing is set yourself a deadline. So if you set yourself a deadline, you know, let's say you are working on a beat in Fruity Loops, and oftentimes you start a beat and you never get it finished because you get into this loop mentality where you become attached to the loop and you can't seem to finish the song because you can't get beyond an 8-bar loop. Or in Photoshop, you know, you can't finish the project because you unfortunately you seem to hit a creative block. You can't seem to, you know, see where it's going. You can't see an end for it, you know. And so what I would do is set yourself a deadline. You know, say like, if you write down in your journal or in an app, you know, I need to get this project done by Friday, or I've only got a week to complete this project. If you set yourself a deadline and you constantly remind yourself of that deadline, you're going to reinforce your mindset into believing, you're going to convince yourself that it's crucial and important that you get this project finished, that you complete it by this deadline. Another thing is I would use a reward system. So if you're working on a project, and I would, you know, when you finish the project, give yourself a reward. So let's say you like video games. If you finish the project, play a video game. If you don't if you don't finish the project, then don't play a video game. If you like takeaways, then don't give yourself a takeaway if you don't finish the project. It's you know, it's straightforward really. If you finish a project, you reward yourself. If you don't finish a project, you don't reward yourself. This should discipline you to complete projects, because you'll know that if you don't finish a project, then you're not going to get a reward. Another thing is collaboration. I think collaborating with people is very important, because when you collaborate with people, this is going to be hard for a lot of people with Asperger's because of social anxiety and you know, the challenges with being able to interact with other people. But maybe not so much for people with ADHD. But then again, some people with Asperger's can interact with other people. You know, they have got the ability to be able to interact socially. So therefore, this might apply to them as well. When you collaborate with somebody, you are relieving yourself of lots of stress. Why is that? Well, because that person may have skills that you lack. So if you combine your strengths with their strengths, you're going to have an easier time finishing the work that you need to finish. And plus, there's an old saying that goes, 2 brains are better than 1, or 2 minds are better than 2 heads are better than 1. So, you know, sometimes it is good to seek out somebody to help you with a project so that you can get something done, because they might have strengths that you're lacking, and they might be able to bring different ideas to the table that you weren't even thinking of. You know, so I think collaborating is important as well. Another thing is take breaks. You see, you could be working on this project every single day for hours and hours on end, and you just can't seem to finish it. Have you ever considered that it might be because you're not having any breaks? If you take breaks, you know, small breaks away from the work that you need to do, then you'll give yourself time to clear your head and think about other things. And then when you come back to the project, you'll come back with a clear and fresh mind, with probably fresh ideas as well. You know, it's sort of like defragmentating your mind. You're clearing out all the excess rubbish. You know, when you go on a break, you're able to clear your head, and then when you come back, your head is clear enough so that you can finish your project, or come up with ideas that you weren't able to come up with before, or, you know, finish certain tasks that you weren't able to finish before. And another thing I think is, you know, this is a bonus tip, but it might actually help a lot of people out, is meditating. Now, I know meditating is difficult for people with Aspergers and ADHD because it requires a lot of focus and concentration. However, you can perform short meditations. You see, meditation doesn't have to be this long thing where you sat there chanting like this, Om Mani Padme Hum, Hum Mani Padme Hum, you know, for 2 hours at a time. No, you can meditate for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes, and think of meditation as going to the gym, but instead of pulling weights in a physical gym, you are pulling the weights of your mental gym, which is your mind. You know, you're growing your mind. You're building a literal mental muscle in your head. So, you know, when you meditate, you can clear your head. You can, you know, wade through all the cloudy thoughts in your head, all the voices in your head, all the judgments that you've got inside. And then when your head becomes clear, it's sort of like standing at a riverbed and you cannot see the bottom of the river. You know, the water is dirty and it's just not clear. You can't see at the bottom of the river. But once the water has been purified, you can see all the fish below. You can see the weeds. You know, you can see the river as clear as day. That's what meditation does for your mind, and it can improve your creativity as well, because you're clearing your head. Thoughts that were being suppressed by your subconscious mind will come to the centre of your mind, and you'll gain insights. So yeah, I think meditation will probably help you out a lot if you give it a chance. So that's all I have to say in today's video. I'm sorry if I rambled on a bit, or my mind went blank a few times. I've just recorded this video without a script, and I've just said what's on my mind. So, you know, whatever came to my head, I just said it, based on, you know, what I know has worked for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video anyway, and if you did enjoy this video, could you click on that subscribe icon at the bottom? There's also a notification bell if you want to be informed of all my future video uploads, and you can comment or provide me with feedback, ideas or suggestions in the commentary box below. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you was able to take some good takeaways from this video, and yeah, I cannot wait to make more. Thank you very much. Bye guys.